welcome back to Game Vent. My name's Ethan York.
And I'm Justin Borras.
And today we are doing a discussion video on why the Wii U is failing.
So let's start off by just throwing out some personal opinions out there.
Okay.
Now again, this is our first discussion video, so it might be a little bit lengthy.
Yeah.
But that's fine. My personal opinion is I personally love my Wii U. I've always been a fan of Nintendo. Started off on the original NES, so I'm not trying to say I'm a fanboy or anything, but I am a gamer. I strive to go out there and buy all three consoles, regardless of what Nintendo is doing. But what's your opinion on it so far?
Well, my opinion on the Wii U is that I was always looking at the Wii U from a distance. I never really looked into it all that much before, we had to research some stuff for this video. My personal opinions before that was that it was kind of like, a kid's console and that it wasn't really something that I wanted to deal with. But, I saw some of the games that they were offering, like Arkham City and the way they were using the gamepad, and I think that is something that is very cool towards gaming, and I hope gaming takes the next step, with the gamepad.
And that's kind of an unfortunate thing, because a lot of developers kind of feel the same way that you do, that it's a kid's console. I don't like using that term, a kid's console, because, Nintendo produces some great games.
Yes, I agree.
Granted, it can't compete with the PS4 or Xbox One in terms of hardware.
Yeah.
But
it is a very powerful console, though.
Yes, it is still a very powerful console, and I actually prefer to use the term casual.
Oh, casual.
As opposed to kid, because Nintendo does target a casual audience.
Yes.
So let's go over some facts, just about why we think the Wii U is failing and stuff like that.
Okay.
First off, from April 2013 to March 2014, which is coming up, they expected to sell 9 million consoles. 9 million. That is a lot of Wii U's to be sold. They recently just brought down that projection to about, I don't know, was it 1.3? 2.8.
That seems like a little more reasonable, but that is not a lot of Wii U.
No, well, that's a huge cut.
Yeah.
9 million to 2.8
million.
That's really, 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 really bad.
Yeah.
So, even with the 3DS is completely, kicking ass right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. 3DS is very cool.
But even then, they brought down their projections to 13.5. I believe it was either 18 million.
But that's a lot of freaking people playing a handheld,
Right, but keep in mind, these are just projections.
Yes, that's true.
These are just projections. So, that being said, Nintendo's not doing too good right now.
No, not really.
And it's unfortunate because, like we were discussing before this video, Nintendo has 3 consoles that were number 1 consoles.
Yes.
You have the NES, the Super Nintendo, and then you have the Wii.
Yeah.
The Wii completely, took everyone by surprise.
Oh, man. Well, I remember when the Wii first came out, how excited I was to get my hands on that. Granted, my favorite game was Wii Sports, but...
You and, millions of other people out there.
The Wii was probably one of the coolest consoles in my personal opinion.
Well, it was revolutionary, believe it or not, because, they prompted, I'm pretty sure the motion controls in the Wii gave birth to Kinect.
Oh, yes.
Because, Xbox has to outdo everyone.
Yeah.
And, and as unfortunate as this is, Sony Move was pretty much a rip-off of the motion controls for Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, let's get down to the meat of it, all right?
Meat of it.
The reasons why I believe the Wii U is failing.
I believe there's 3 main...
There's a lot. There's a lot. But, we're going to break it down to 3 for you guys, all right? So, first one, branding. Branding. That is a big one. Now, tell me this. What do you think would have made people more aware? Well, actually, let's go to the root of the problem before I say this, okay? There are a lot of people out there who don't even know that the Wii U is a new console. They believe it's an add-on.
Makes sense, yeah.
They believe it's it's a Wii with, this little tablet right here, which I love this thing.
Yeah, that thing is freaking awesome.
I absolutely love this thing. But yeah, pretty much they think that the Wii released a touchscreen tablet for it.
Yeah,
that's just not the case.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing about that is, now getting back to what I was saying, is that I think the Wii U is too. It's not definitive enough. You know, personally, I think that if they would have gone with Wii 2 or something like that, that definitely would have been a lot better. You know,
I think the Wii U made some people think of like. The difference between the Wii and the Wii U, just because they named it the Wii U, was kind of the difference between the 360 and the 360 Slim. They just thought, oh, there's some extra features with the Slim, but it's not much different from the original.
Right, exactly. So, and the thing about that is that it's unfortunate, but it caused there to be an extreme lack of awareness for the console. You know, that's just bad decision making on Nintendo's part. You know, I mean, even with the Wii, you know, they actually wanted to name it the Nintendo Revolution, which I think was a much better name than the Wii. You know, the first time I heard the Wii, I was like, what? Like, really?
Like,
Wii? Like, seriously? Like, come on, guys. Anyway,
well, it also doesn't help that the Wii U is. I mean, when you look at it, it's not the actual console itself doesn't look that much different than the regular Wii.
Yes, this is true. I mean, it does, but it really doesn't at the same time. You know, I mean, you lay your Wii flat, you lay your Wii U flat, and you know, I mean, it's got the same blue lighting on it. You know, it's so. You know, that's kind of the first big problem with that that we saw was the branding. You know, and that's unfortunate, but you know, whatever. Nintendo does what it does.
Yeah.
Second one, and this one is huge, absolutely huge. Marketing.
Oh yeah, please tell me how many times have you seen a Wii U commercial? Like, never.
Once in maybe a month in a blue, you know? Like, and it's just, they're not out there. Yeah. And in fact, Wii U advertisements as a whole are not out there. Unless you go into GameStop or some kind of online specialty site or specialty store or something like that.
Even if you do go into GameStop, it's all PS4, Xbox One, Call of Duty, blah, blah, blah.
And that's the unfortunate thing, too. Because, you know, with the Wii U, you have this small section of the store that's dedicated to Wii U. And I'm not just talking about the games. I mean, you even have the 3DS and Wii U section combined and mashed into one thing. So it's like, hey, here are the Wii U games, and here's all its accessories. Whereas, you know, you go to the Xbox One or PS4 section, it's like, here's all the games, and, you know, the accessories are off to the side and stuff like that. And, you know, and granted, there are not that many games out for the Wii U, which is unfortunate because, come on, Nintendo, you had a year head start on both of these consoles. So, you know, and that's really, really, really unfortunate. And even when you see like a video game commercial for the Wii U, really the only thing you get at the end is just a little, you know, Wii U pop-up and stuff like that, where it just seems like, you know, Xbox One or PS4, they evolved their entire commercial around it being based for their system.
Especially Xbox, because I mean, even if it's just a game necessarily, like take for instance a Call of Duty commercial. At the end of that commercial, because Call of Duty's been associated with Xbox because of their whole deal, you see a whole advertisement at the end about an Xbox One, like a 15-second tidbit about why you should buy it.
It'll even show the console.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Wii U hasn't done that in the past. Yeah. They do, but seriously, get some more airtime, Nintendo, because, again, I absolutely love your company, but my God, you guys need more airtime, more commercials, and even with Xbox One and PS4 commercials, you got, like, that Greatness Awaits commercial,
for Sony,
It's a mashup of every freaking title they have, almost a mashup of every single title they have out right now. Xbox One has that one commercial, you know, where it goes from the car racing game, and then Forza, and then, they go into the other games they have. Wii U doesn't have a mashup commercial like that.
Yeah, no.
And, just the marketing for this console sucks, and it's hurting them badly.
You know what could really help Nintendo? A Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
I mean, Nintendo's rolling in the dough.
Yes, you are absolutely right. In fact, you know what? Hey, Super Bowl's coming up. Let's hope to God they have one out there.
Yeah, if not, not much hope left for the console, in my personal opinion.
And what's really unfortunate is the fact that the Wii U, in the past 6 months, has only pushed 500,000 consoles. That is it. 500,000 consoles.
You are 1 in 500,000.
Well, did I buy one in the last 6 months? I don't know. I might be, actually.
You're 1 in 500,000.
Yeah, actually, I think I bought mine in April. So, you know,
You're part of a small
I'm a part
group of people.
of a small percentile of people who actually own a Wii U. So, and this all right, let's get on to the next subject.
Okay,
Sorry, not to mean to jump ahead, you know, don't want to hammer the marketing thing in there because that's just basic knowledge,
That's probably one of the biggest things.
It is actually really is one of the biggest problems is marketing.
And even then,
it's
when
just
you have
almost not there.
When you have a game coming out for all of the consoles and stuff like that, you know, at the bottom of the commercial when they show the little, especially for GameStop stuff, they show all the consoles.
Right.
Wii U it goes like Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then Wii U. Like, it's all the way at the end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, and you know, and actually, this would actually lead up to our next subject, is the fact that when a game releases on all systems, people usually tend to go for Sony or Xbox as opposed to Nintendo because of the superior hardware.
Well, I would agree with you in a sense. I do agree that the PS4 and the Xbox One do have superior hardware, but I feel like the Wii U, or at least the first generation of Wii, had a lot of games that came out for, you know, a lot of games that came out on the 360 as well as the Wii and PS3 as well. But they just kind of seem like, in a sense, kind of dumbed down versions than what the games were on the 360 and the PS3. And I think people are kind of expecting that when they get, you know, big titles coming to the Wii U.
Dumbed down in terms of graphics. I mean, and let's face it, you know, one thing that Nintendo does have going for them is they know how to make fun games.
Oh, yes, they do.
They know how to make fun games.
Especially if you have like 4 or 5 people in your house.
Right, exactly. And, you know, what really drives games now, and this is unfortunate, is the graphics.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people go for. And you know, the thing that sucks about that is that doesn't make a good game. Graphics do not make a good game.
Why do you think Rise: Son of Rome was so popular at E3? Because the game looks magnificent.
It was great, but yet it was an average game.
Yeah.
The combat was repetitive over and over and over. You pretty much play the entire game within the first 10 minutes of you playing it.
Yeah, but that's beside the point.
Exactly. So that leads up to our next part of why the Wii U is doing so badly now. And again, it had a year head start to do this. Yeah. However, the release of the Xbox One and the PS4 are killing it now.
For every little bit of attention the Wii U got, any information about the PS4 and the Xbox One, including the release, took all the attention away from the Wii U.
Completely overshadowed it. And
people probably don't even think the Wii U is a thing. They're so focused on the Xbox One and the PS4 right now.
Yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate, and you know, but that's... The other thing that because of the release of the Xbox One and PS4 that Nintendo is so horrible at, that a lot of people wish that they weren't, more third-party support.
Please.
More. Because, you know, the thing that you know, Nintendo kind of banks on is, you know, I mean, Super Mario 3D World just came out, right? They wanted that game to push more consoles out. And it got a really good score. I think it got like 9 or 9.5 or something like that. It just is not pushing that console. Yeah. You know, and, you know, Nintendo relies on the classics, you know, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, F-Zero, Super Smash Brothers.
Basically, all Nintendo titles.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, Nintendo has their own niche. I think that's how you say that word. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but it's just really unfortunate that there's not that much third-party support, and that's where it really is killing the Wii U right now.
Well, a big point that I want to get across that's kind of related to the third-party support is the fact then, because of the addition of the gamepad, I feel like if another company really wanted to make their game really spectacular for the Wii U, they'd probably end up doing something for the gamepad. But I think developing something for the gamepad would take a lot of extra time for the developers, and I just honestly, I don't think developers are that interested, especially because the Wii U is doing so poorly.
Right. That and you know, like you said earlier, developers, you know, say that you know, it's a kid console. Yeah. In fact, I mean, I think there was even an anonymous source at E3 that said, you know, Nintendo's dead to us right now, and Peter Moore, I believe that's the COO's name of EA, actually went on record recently saying, you know, Nintendo will never be dead to us, and they're a great partner. You know, pretty much saying don't believe anonymous rumors and stuff like that. Yeah. So, regardless of all these things that are going on with the Wii U, there are so many people out there being like, Nintendo's dying off. Nintendo's going to be dead by the next year. Nintendo's not going to have consoles anymore.
How many times have people said that? Like, come on now.
Millions
Nintendo's
of times.
been around forever.
You guys cannot be more wrong if you guys actually think that Nintendo is going anywhere anytime soon.
I mean,
at all.
Nintendo's been around forever. They've had 3 top consoles. They have to have so much money. I think the Wii U is certainly a console that if it fails, they can certainly afford it. I don't
Exactly, and that's the next point.
Yeah.
Is that the Wii U is a mistake that that Nintendo can afford.
Yeah.
They have $10 billion in their bank account, people. $10 billion. That means Nintendo has the capability of failing for the next 20 years before they run out of money. That's a lot of failing.
Yeah.
That is a lot of failing. And for a company that has 3 number 1 consoles within the span of their lifetime already, I don't think Nintendo is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
and on top of that, Nintendo dominates the handheld market.
Oh.
Sorry, Sony lovers.
Yeah.
DS beat out the PSP, and as much as you Vita lovers love your Vita, you know, I don't have one. I personally want one more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that is beating out the 3DS.
Yeah,
either.
not even close, no.
So,
I mean, I know in particular in this video I was playing a Nintendo handheld, and he had to practically take it away from me just to start the freaking video.
Yeah, this is true. But and then another thing to point on that whole, you know, Nintendo, you know, going up against all odds and stuff like that. In the 80s, home computers were like it, you know, like the Commodore 64 or something like that. And Nintendo, the original NES, went up against that, and they were still a number 1 console. I mean, really the only competition they had back then, besides the computers, was like the Sega Master Drive before the Genesis and stuff like that. But I mean, still, you know, like, so Sony came onto the scene in 1995.
Yeah.
You know,
Before I was born.
Yeah, with the PlayStation. Xbox came onto the scene like what, 2000?
I think it was 2000.
2001, something like that. So you got these 2 new kids on the block who are trying to take out the old guy. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon. So, sorry guys.
And I think a lot of the cool stuff that the newer consoles have kind of derived from what Nintendo has started. For example, what you were mentioning before, the Kinect and the PS Move.
Yeah.
It kind of came from Nintendo's, you know, original idea of, hey, let's try this motion control thing. It went over well. They were the number 1 console. Now look, both of the next-gen consoles have that feature now. So,
exactly.
I mean...
Exactly. So...
And they all try to put their own spin on it. You know, Kinect is all like, you don't have to have a controller. But realistically, it's... Motion control has always worked better on the Wii, in my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, all you need is Skyward Sword to see that one.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm sorry, the motion controls in that game were phenomenal.
But you know, motion controls, where things start, I think that's where they're usually better off. I don't think Microsoft or Sony will ever make motion control better than Wii's was. And if they do, Nintendo will come out with something first that is better than whatever Microsoft is.
Need I remind you guys of mine and Ethan's attempt at playing Kinect Rivals?
Oh my god. Frick that game and the Kinect.
Oh my god, yeah. So, you know, and another good point to bring up is another big competitor for Nintendo is the mobile market. A lot of people think, personally, I cannot stand mobile games. I don't like them. I don't like the free-to-play model.
Especially because free-to-play on a tablet or a mobile phone is basically like, you can download it for free, which is cool. But if you want to do all this other cool stuff, drop $20 on a free game.
Well, even games you pay $6 for, there's still like, you know, in-game things that you can buy for it to you know, help you get through it faster and stuff like that.
It's basically the freemium model.
Well, yeah, but even games that you actually pay, you know, to play, you know, there should be none of that stuff in there, you know. And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming. I'm sorry, guys. I've tried it over and over and over. I really don't like it, and that's why Nintendo. Sorry, not to cut you off, but that's why Nintendo will not release any Nintendo stuff on a mobile device because they do not want to bring competition within themselves for their handheld device.
Well, I know one of the best experiences you can get for mobile games, even though mobile game is kind of in general, is the NVIDIA Shield. I don't know if you know what that is. But if you're into mobile gaming,
Yeah.
that's really the best experience you can get out of that.
Mm.
But then again, mobile gaming, the only reason I even know about mobile gaming in general is because I have an iPad for school and nobody wants to pay attention anymore because they're mobile gaming.
Yeah.
But even then, you have a choice between playing a game on your iPad or listening, and some people get so bored of mobile gaming they actually end up listening. Like, come on now, you got to have a game more entertaining than that.
That's sad.
Yeah,
That's
it's
sad.
pretty bad.
But anyway, kind of back on subject with the Wii U.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of to reiterate what I was saying before, it is unfortunate that Nintendo is banking on games like Zelda, Mario, F-Zero, you know, classic series. Yeah, exactly. But the thing about it is people think that they're just regurgitating things, and you know, to me, that's just not true.
Well, I have a question to you. Do you think people that haven't really looked into the Wii U, do you think that some people think that only Nintendo games could be played on the Wii U? Because a lot of the advertising for the Wii U is a lot of Nintendo stuff. Before I even looked it up, I was aware that the Wii had some, you know, other third-party games, but the majority of games you can play on the Wii and the Wii U, at least when you kind of look at it from a distance, is a lot of Nintendo stuff.
Yes, of course it is. But all right, let's take Batman Arkham City, for example. They released the Armored Edition for the Wii U, right? Well, no longer do you have to pause the game to upgrade.
Yep.
No longer do you have to pause your game to look at the map. It's all right here. Right on your touchscreen. And like I said before, I love this thing.
Yeah. And like we were mentioning before, how, you know, the Xbox One and the PS4 like to, or just Microsoft and Sony in general, like to piggyback on Nintendo. I am saying it in this video right now. Next generation of consoles for Microsoft and Sony, they're going to have a screen and they're freaking, yeah.
We'll see.
I'm calling it.
See.
I'm calling it.
I think that's absolutely plausible.
Yeah.
Absolutely plausible. And you know, the thing, you know, the reason why people go for Nintendo is because people want those series. They want the Nintendo exclusives. They want the Metroids. They want the F-Zeros. They want the Zeldas. They want that stuff.
I think the biggest selling point, like for games-wise on the Wii U, is a lot of the Mario stuff, or at least Super Smash Brothers.
Mario Kart?
And Mario Kart. It's just awesome, especially if you have a bunch of people to play with. That was probably, besides Wii Sports with bowling, was probably one of the greatest experiences of my video game playing life, was just having 6 or 7 people in a room. We're all going at it, you know, we're all excited because we're all playing, you know, Super Smash Brothers, or we're all on that stupid freaking, that one map of Mario Kart with like the rainbows and stuff where you always fall off the side, everybody's screaming. Those are some of the greatest video game experiences you can have.
Exactly, especially Super Smash Brothers. And you know, and you know, Sony tried to recreate that with Sony PlayStation All-Stars, and it failed. It failed massively. Why? Because you needed a superpower in order to even kill someone, and it killed the game. It literally killed the game.
I know, like, that game didn't even apply to me because I was like, why am I going to want to play a PlayStation version of a Nintendo game when the Nintendo game is probably going to be better anyway?
Well, you know, because you got fanboys. And fanboys, you know, it's just like, oh, this is going to be the Nintendo killer. Right, okay.
So, it's like, instead of playing with Kirby, you could play with freaking Kratos from God of War.
Well,
like,
that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool, but I mean...
no, and the thing about it is people who want these exclusives, I mean, there's a big market out there for that. There are a lot of people, especially gamers my age, who have good memories of Nintendo games. So, I mean, there is a big market out there. However, these games are not going to reach the mass market that the Call of Duties or the Battlefields or, you know, the...
Insert name of FPS shooter here.
Well, I mean, even the sports games, you know? It's just, it's not going to reach that kind of mass market.
Yeah, I mean, the sports games are literally repeating themselves each new game, and people still buy it. I mean, I am a victim to this too, because I buy sports games as well, but it's literally the same game.
And, you know, and a lot of people will say that Nintendo is just regurgitating their same stuff, and that's just not true. Look at, you know, I mean, Mario from its old, you know, 2D times to Mario 64 revolutionized 3D gaming. Absolutely. And then you go to Super Mario Sunshine. Amazing. Then you go to Super Mario Galaxy. Every single time there's a new iteration of Mario Brothers, with the exception of the new Super Mario Brothers series, because that is kind of just a repeat of the old stuff just in 2.5D.
Yeah.
You know, like
2.5D.
honestly, New Super Mario Brothers Wii and New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, the same freaking game.
Yeah.
But different levels, but the same game. And you know, it's just really unfortunate that these games can't reach the type of mass market that the Xbox One or PS4 or Xbox 360 and PS3 even.
Yeah. I think developers out there, and this is a message to developers, I think one developer that makes a popular game on, you know, either the Xbox One or the PS4 or both needs to take a chance with the Wii U for one reason, and it's because of that freaking tablet thing on the controller.
Right, but
that could completely change the face of gaming.
And it really can. It does have the potential to do that. And again, the Wii U is still a powerful console that's capable of delivering a full 1080p HD experience.
Yeah.
And one good thing that Nintendo does have going for it, they make great RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the RPGs from the Wii. I mean, God, what was the one I was... Xenoblade Chronicles, right?
Something
That's
like
the one
that,
I was looking up there. $129 right now on Amazon. Because it's... Well, they're rare RPGs, but they're great RPGs. You know, they got one called X, I believe. Something like that from... I think it's Monolith Soft coming out. But, you know, it looks freaking phenomenal. It looks so amazing. And a lot of people that are Nintendo fans that, you know, are in your same generation of gaming grew up being fans of RPGs, you know, that had Nintendo, you know, Final Fantasy started on Nintendo.
There you go.
So,
right there.
And the thing, I mean, just to, you know, sum up what I'm trying to say here is Nintendo has a great history of making great fun games.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of games that sell millions of consoles. And that's unfortunate.
I don't know. I mean, personally, and this is going back to the handheld thing, but, you know, I saw you playing the new Pokemon, like X or Y, or which one do you have, and that makes me, because I have such positive experiences of Pokemon in my past, that makes me kind of want to go out and buy one of those just so I could play that game. Like,
right, but I mean, that's a handheld, not a console.
That's true,
you know,
but I think that we, or the Wii U, in this particular video, could come out with something that brings out such nostalgia in people.
Oh, God. If they brought out a Pokemon game on the Wii U...
I would die!
Nintendo, there you go. That is your golden ticket to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. You want... to sell millions of consoles, make a 3D Pokemon game on your Wii U.
You need a Super Bowl commercial and a Pokemon game for your Wii U, and you're about to skyrocket to the top for your fourth time.
I understand it is a handheld game, but come on, man. You gotta pull something out of left field to come out ahead now.
There's so many possibilities with the tablet
and
the
thing.
Of
course.
And because Pokemon did originate on handheld, that could be one of those games that you could play just on the gamepad. You wouldn't even need the TV.
I mean, you could play Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD right now. By the way, amazing game. Even though I know it's a regurgitation of the old one, it looks phenomenal, and you can play it on your tablet while your girlfriend or your brother or someone is watching TV.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like it originated on a handheld. You could totally just play that on the Wii U tablet, like he said, your girlfriend or, whoever's watching TV, because it was originally started on handheld. There's just so many possibilities if they made a Pokemon game for Wii.
Oh, God, you can have... Your bag can go right here on the tablet. You can manage your Pokemon right here without ever having to pause. And I mean, come on, Nintendo! Really, you're not capitalizing on your potential.
And
right
especially
now.
with the way X and Y look now, just the way your Pokemon actually goes and attacks the other one now.
Exactly.
There's so many possibilities.
Exactly.
Especially with the next gen technology that they have.
Exactly. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Nintendo has some great exclusives coming out. They got Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, that does look like a good game.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that a lot of people enjoyed the first one.
Oh, yeah,
it's just unfortunate that a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, it's a Wii U exclusive, go out there and buy a Wii U, alright? It's cheaper than all the other consoles out right now.
Yeah, because the Wii U is doing so bad, you can pick up a deluxe edition of console with like Mario
I think
or
it's
Luigi
still
stuff.
I think it's like 300 still.
But you can basically find some from $250 to $350. $300 is pretty much the average that you're going to find one right now.
Yeah.
You can't even buy a 360 for that much right now.
If you want Mario Kart or Zelda or Super Smash Brothers or anything like that,
or hopefully the Pokemon game coming in the future. Copyright Game Vent.
You will not be disappointed by getting a Wii U. I'll just say that right now. This is not a video meant to bash Nintendo at all, because again, I grew up with it. I absolutely love Nintendo. I have the feeling that, that Nintendo could go to E3 and Sony and Microsoft could come up with one super baby of a machine and Nintendo would still walk away stealing the show.
Yeah.
Which is what they did last E3.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's just, you will not be disappointed by this console if you're any kind of a fan of Nintendo. So, don't let the fanboys out there discourage you or anything like that.
Pokemon.
Well, yeah, but just again, Nintendo has a much bigger market than just kids, and it is more than just a kids console. Yes,
I mean, I know even you, and I know you play video games and like in general, but even you play Pokemon. I mean, that is not necessarily
more college kids play Pokemon than any other demographic out there, believe it or not.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I know Pokemon's kind of a nerdy game, but Pokemon is awesome. You need to put that on the Wii U.
When I was going to college in Portland. We had a light rail system out there called the Max, right? And I was riding the Max one day, and I was sitting there playing Pokemon. This kid just kind of walks up by me, and it's just like, ew, you're playing Pokemon? That's a kid's game. I'm just like, psh. I was like, get out of here, kid. Like, really?
Yeah.
It's just like...
I had this, like, I brought my freaking Game Boy to school today, because I'm a rebel like that, and, all the sports kids were walking by me. They're all staring at me like... doing? I was like, I'm playing a classic.
Exactly. Well, I'm sorry. It's just, it's like, I don't know what happened when Pokemon first came out. Right. It's just like, oh yeah, Pokemon. And, for the first generation people, that never kind of went away. Now you got all these kids who are just like, ew, Pokemon's stupid. You got all these college kids just like, Pokemon!
Yeah, dude.
It's just like, so anyway.
I mean, when you think about it, Pokemon is not a kid's game. When you, look at the aspect of what Pokemon is.
It's very in-depth. It's very, especially with the whole EV points and all that stuff. But, again, not to go on a tangent there.
Yeah.
To kind of get back on Pokemon. Bottom line, Nintendo needs more third-party support.
And Pokemon. Oh, God.
All right. Anyway, so really, this is kind of, with the state that the Wii U is in right now, the best case scenario for Nintendo, unfortunately...
is to break even, I think.
Yeah, you're going to have to break even, Nintendo. Yeah. You're going to have to break even, and that's just... You're not going to get ahead of Sony or Xbox, and, maybe I'm speaking too soon. I hope I'm speaking too soon. Please prove me wrong. But, it's... Who knows? Any crazier things have happened. But, best case scenario, I think Nintendo, you're going to have to sell enough to break even, because right now you're at a loss. You're at a massive loss. I know you've been in this situation before. You have come back from it, but, and kind of a note with that right there, President Iwata has refused to resign or change up any kind of management styles at all. He has apologized to investors, but he has refused to resign.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see the end of him anytime soon. We are definitely not going to see the end of Nintendo by any means whatsoever.
I think
within
something that
a long time. So.
Yeah. Something, I don't mean to cut you off here, but I think something that Nintendo should do, and this is just like a crazy idea. I'm full of crazy ideas, so I'm just going to throw it out there. With the new addition of virtual reality games like the Oculus Rift and the whole treadmill thing that they're coming out with, you actually have to run and turn your head in video games. Because Oculus Rift, yes, it is their own company, Nintendo's got a lot of money. They need to purchase them and then make that a part of their own console.
And that's... the Oculus Rift is kind of...
think about it.
Personally, I think it's ahead of its time.
Well,
right
yes,
now.
I agree too.
However, with this tablet...
But so was motion control. The first Wii started motion control. Maybe the Wii after the Wii U could start the whole virtual reality thing.
Maybe, but we're years ahead before seeing that happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
But the thing about it is the Wii U tablet does have a gyroscope in it. I know I was playing Lego City Stories with this thing, and there was an X-ray scanner on there. I literally had to get up and literally move my body around the room like this in order to see around the city. So, I think it's good. It's heading off to a good start.
Yep.
For that. It's, we'll see. I mean, Nintendo has already gone on record saying they're not giving up on consoles.
Yeah.
So maybe the next one will be another number one seller. Who knows? So. They got 3 out of 6. They're 50%, they're 50% number one.
Dude,
So
I'm trying to think right now, like a virtual reality Pokemon game.
oh god, that's now you're just thinking the future.
The future is real. So is that where you want to?
Well, I mean, for let's. I did mention in the comment section. Someone asked a question to bring up in this video. I think we should touch on it because I told him that we would in this video.
We love you.
He asked what we thought about Xbox One. Doing the
paying
whole
YouTubers for,
right, yeah, paying YouTubers for positive mentions of the Xbox One, and not
in a
just,
very secretive manner.
Well, yeah, and it's not just through YouTube either. They actually have a deal going on with Machinima for anyone that posts video on there.
Yeah.
That's
it's like an extra
get paid,
for anybody that knows anything about YouTube. You get like an extra $3 DRM, which is basically just like basically $3 more per 1,000 view if you did their whole deal with Xbox. Yeah.
And now the thing about that is that you cannot have any sort of negative mention in that. So I mean,
you can't even say something like if we were paid by Microsoft with this whole deal, we couldn't even have mentioned the whole we think Kinect was kind of a ripoff.
Oh no, we could not mention anything negative in any kind of way at all.
Exactly.
So I mean, how do you? I mean, does that? I mean, to me personally, that leaves a bad feeling in me. A bad taste in my mouth.
I think that Microsoft is kind of trying to recover from how badly they got smacked at E3 by PlayStation, and that PlayStation is, at least to my knowledge, coming a bit ahead of the Xbox One.
Well, I mean, PlayStation 4 has already sold like 4 point some odd million consoles in the first 4 months. Sorry, Nintendo, but this is the truth. And Xbox One, I think, is at 3 million right now.
Something like
within months. That's unfortunate to kind of get back to the Nintendo discussion. That's unfortunate. But I mean, don't you feel like that's a little sneaky?
It is sneaky. I don't appreciate that at all.
I don't like Xbox going out there and I mean, granted, I get it. It's secretive marketing, but.
I don't know. In my personal opinion, being a YouTuber, even on not to the point where I'm getting paid per 1,000 view, I don't know, a deal like that is a lot, especially when some people are getting only $3 per 1,000 view. Another $3 is literally doubling their salary.
Right.
So.
Right. So it's, personally, I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but if
if
it was me in that situation and I was getting paid per 1,000 view, especially if it was only $3 and they were offering me, double or exactly what I make on top of what I make already, that would be a really hard thing to refuse, which is it sucks.
And we live in a capitalistic country.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
But so I think that's where we're going to end this discussion today.
I think it was a good discussion. Let us know in the comments section below if you'd like us to do more discussions, because I certainly enjoyed doing this video.
Give us some topics about some discussions you would like us to discuss about, and we'll do our best to get around to doing that. So
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. If you dislike it, please dislike it. And if you really like it, add it to your favorites. My name's Ethan York.
My name is Justin GameSage Borras.
And we will see you guys some other time.